everybody. I am super excited to have Kathy Shanley joining me today. I invited her to my podcast studio to talk about Statice. And Kathy and I go way back. We were colleagues in the association world for a long time. I am a major fan of her leadership style and the way she addresses conflict and the way she communicates with people. And I wouldn't have invited her on if I wasn't a true believer in what she does. Kathy, tell our listeners about yourself and tell them about what Statice is.
Great. I would love to, and thank you so much for your kind words, Casey. Again, my name is Kathy Shanley. I go way back in the association world with you, where I worked with membership associations and members on what keeps them up at night. As part of that, I also worked with teams and created leaders, created fantastic teams, I think, and it was a natural progression to move over to the coaching world.
Yeah, no, and I like I said before, I wouldn't be doing this if I wasn't a huge believer in what you're all about in your leadership style. So I want to know more though. What are the problems you're seeing out there and how are you practically solving these issues?
Yeah. And so a couple of things that I've been seeing lately, I'm seeing a drop in interpersonal relationship skills and emotional intelligence skills, whether it be empathy or problem solving. And then also seeing some issues related to a lack of trust, lack of communications, or just inability to delegate.
Coaching might not feel like it's for everyone out there. I'm super pressed for time myself. Now, just to play devil's advocate, I come to you and I say, Kathy, I just don't have time for a coach. I know I heard on the news or whatever, it's cool and it works and it's the best, but I don't have an extra moment. I don't think I'm going to make this a priority. What do you tell that person?
Yeah, so a couple of things. One is create the white space and make the time.
Sure.
Why? Very prominent publications like Forbes and HBR, I've had articles out there that have said that because of some of those problems that I mentioned to you, some organizations are losing almost one day a week in trying to solve some of the issues that are out there. Yeah. And so because of that, you lose one day a week, translated that into dollars, you're talking about tens of thousands of dollars every year that are lost.
Yeah. Well, I'm curious about that because obviously, like anything, coaching is an investment. Are you thinking, just talking high level here, if our company is recouping the costs of investing in coaching?
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. And so why is that? Because when you're working with a coach, whether it as a team or an individual, you're starting to build trust.
Okay.
Whether you trust others, you trust in their abilities and whatnot. And when teams have trust, they trust each other has the best of intention. They trust they're being transparent. They're going to meet their deadlines. Then they can come together and have productive conflict, not the sort of duke it out conflict, but the kind of conflict where I share my opinion, you share your opinion. I'm open to your opinion.
Got it.
Right? Which is tough for some people. Why? Because I trust you. Then once you have that, you see a high level of commitment and buy-in. You see increased accountability. And at the end of the day, all of that leads to some fantastic results for the business and for the team.
Awesome. So Statice, Statice. Yeah. That's what we're talking today. Do you work with individuals or teams? How does it go?
Yeah, both. And so it's really driven by the client. Everything is very tailored and personalized to what the client's needs are. They'll come to me to tell me what the presenting issue is. And then from there, we'll decide, is this really about individual one-on-one coaching with members of their team? Is it someone that needs some extra support? Someone that needs a thought partner? Or is it a team issue where you want to bring the team in and do some workshopping around a particular issue, whether it be effectively communicating, having crucial conversations, and so forth, or whether or not they're trying to envision what the next best version of that team is.
Got it. And I want to know about the workshops and different tools that you implement to help solve some of these issues we're talking about.
Yeah. So I'm certified in various assessments, whether it be DISC or something like the 5 behaviors of a team, which I was hinting to before, the trust, the accountability, commitment, and the results. In addition, I do things around emotional intelligence. That is one of the hottest assessments right now, is people learning what emotional intelligence skills they're really good at, they're really strong in, and which ones where they maybe need to build that muscle a little bit, and then what would be the difference for them if they did that. One of the fun ones that I do is one around superpowers. People pull out a bunch of cards, they look at scenarios, and at the end of the day, they know their superpower. superpower. And they decide like, hey, how can I use this superpower to get to the next best version of what I want or for the team? And where do I maybe need to dial it back a bit?
Sure.
My superpower might be a bit overwhelming.
Is that related to when your strengths might become your weakness, that kind of thing?
100%.
Totally. So tell us any other final thoughts that you had before we wrap it up here?
Yeah, I just would invite everybody to reach out to me. I love working with teams. I love working with individuals, and I would love to partner with you to be the next best version of yourself or your team.
Absolutely. And we will remind listeners and viewers that they can learn more by visiting thinkstatice.com. That's think-status.com.
Thanks, Casey.
Awesome.